Steve here from Advanced Global. And the question we're answering is how do you create a workflow rule to remind a resource that they are of a scheduled engagement with a customer 3 days out and 1 day out? So, first of all, we're talking about notifying a resource, not reminding the customer that we have a service call. And so, for resources, we don't recommend emailing them. We would prefer the text stay out of their email. Every time they go in their email, they're gone for 24 minutes, according to surveys. And that's non billable, non productive work. So, what we recommend is a service call scheduled on their dashboard. This is their ready to engage. This is their work list. It's organized by next SLA event due date. So they always know what to work on next. But right next to it is when are they scheduled to work directly with the customer. So they can easily look at this and see that until Tech 3, until April 19th, is free to work the next SLA, the ready to engage widget, and this is his list until this time. We also move all the waiting tickets, waiting customer, waiting parts, and all of that over into this widget. They can still see it and stay on top of last activity date, but it's not in their way in the middle of their tickets. But the question is, how do you notify someone? And I'm going to say the customer that to remind them of a service call. So I'm going to go in the admin module. This is one of the trickiest workflow rules to write. I'll tell you that right now. There is a gotcha in the middle of this. Heads up. Um, this has caused me to stay up nights trying to figure out how to create it. So I'm going to go in here. And the first thing that I need to do is create a workflow rule. Let's go service call reminder. Okay. Um, Trying to think. Let's go due in 3 business days. Okay. And let's see, this is triggers, so that's not quite what we want. So the first thing we want is, it used to be called has service call, but then they moved it. Maybe not. Somewhere has incompleted checklist. All right, I don't see it there. Yeah, is service call scheduled? Used to be called has service call. Now it's that. So in the nick of time, you were. So here we have if this ticket is due in 3 business days and still has a service call. Now this is, we have looked high and low for a way for this to trigger off the service call start date or anything in the service call. It doesn't work that way. To fire a workflow rule on a service call reminder, you have to set the due date for the date that the service call is scheduled. So when I was working for an MSP, whenever we scheduled a service call, we changed the due date to in the ticket to equal the service call schedule date. This works great when you're only scheduling 1 or 2 service calls. When it comes down to scheduling a project, you have to use a different mechanism. Email me, I'll tell you that. If you have due dates are controlled by the SLA automation, you have to put the scheduled remotely or scheduled on site, those statuses you have to put in a waiting customer mode so that you can reset the due date. So, a lot of little gotchas in here, but we're not even to the biggest gotcha yet. And so, with this, I'm going to go to the biggest gotcha. Let's go to notifications. Um, Naturally, you're going to want to, again, I'm opposed to emailing the resource on the ticket. I am totally in favor of emailing the contact and additional contacts in the ticket. Um, I prefer that the email comes from a support email address. That way, any responses come back to a service coordinator or dispatcher rather than the tech themselves. Now we're into the sticky wicket down here in the notification template. Okay, so hang with me a little bit. I guess I got to select it before I can edit it. So here we have remote service call scheduled, remote service call on site. Here's service call reminder. Okay. Ignore the do not use. That's because this is our template and I'm not going to save this workflow rule anyway. But let's go in and take a look at this because this is the trickiest part. This is the part that took us the longest to work through. And I see in our database, this service call reminder is still using the primary resource in the ticket. There's a problem with this. Suppose it's the secondary resource in the ticket that is scheduled for the service call, and yet the primary resource is the one that you're going to tell the customer's coming, but that's not true. Um, Billy is the secondary resource, not Sally. And so you're telling them the wrong information. It used to be, and I say this, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe even longer, that in this list was this a service call assigned resource. But when you look through this list, that person's not in the list anymore. Not to fret and not to worry. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to duplicate my tab because I don't want to lose the workflow rules. I'm going to go back into the admin module. I have the admin module by bookmarking and clicking this star here, turning it in gold. That's what sets the bookmark. We're going to go to automation. We're going to go to email notifications. We're going to open up templates. And you're like, Steve, you're making this incredibly difficult. So notifications for this workflow rule are in the service desk area. You can't get to the service call notifications. So what we need to do is go to the service call, click new. Okay. Now, if you think about how a database is built, all of these variables work everywhere. They may not be listed in the service desk, but they're all listed. So let's go show all variables. No, we want to show service call variables. Uh, Here's scheduled resources. Oh, let's go this way. There we go. Nope, that's service call in time. There we go. Schedule resources. So all I'm going to do now is copy this and I'm coming back into the other notification here. Now we're on the service desk side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and Control V and I'm going to paste it over. Doggone it. When I did this earlier for a customer, I didn't lose the formatting. You know what? That just feels like I just muckied it all up. I don't know what changed, but something jumped that bothers me. So I'm going to come back and open it again. I didn't save it. It just, I don't know, something hit me. Yeah, has been scheduled for disappeared. And I know why. I know what I fat fingered, but so let's fiddlesticks. But I have it highlighted. I'm going to turn it on bold. Let me check this font size. Be nice if it told me what font size that was. But how many times haven't we said that? Would it be nice if Autotask worked this way? Or if Autotask worked that way? That looks too big, doesn't it? But that looks too small. So we're going to go with too big. There we go. So now the service call schedule resource is in a service desk template because I cut and pasted it over here. Oh, I know what the problem is. It's a font size bigger, but it's not bold. No, that's not it. So you're sitting there saying, Steve, quit wasting my time and give me the final answer. So there you go. That's the final answer. I am going to save and close this because that's a change that I want in our database. And then I'm going to come back over here and one more time just show you you cannot get to service call notifications. Otherwise, we'd build it in the service call area. But that's a way you can take service call fields, drag them into service desk templates. Now I would save and close. It's activated, and now they would be built. Now you'll notice we set this due date for 3 business days. There's 2 ways to get the 1 business day. You can copy this, change it to 1 business day, or you could go in here to notifications, and it has notification recurrence. And then you can say repeat notification every 2 days and end after 2 occurrences. So this includes the first one. So you're going to get the 3 day notification, and then you're going to get a 1 day notification. And then after these final occurrences, perform this final update, and that is I don't know. I was thinking of something crazy like deposit $1,000 in Advanced Global's checking account or something like that. But I'm sure Autotask. There's so many things Autotask doesn't do. I'm sure it doesn't do that either. So there you go. I hope this is helpful. Ping me if it's clear as mud. Shoot me an email, and we'll look for some time to chat and take a second look at it. Thanks. And again, this is Steve from Advanced Global. You can reach me at sbuzzy at agmspcoaching.com. That's SBUYZE at agmspcoaching.com. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.